24/7, 361 degrees. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya hakamu, ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum.
Okay, shout out to the family, 747, 24/7, 361 degrees.
Ya dualukum, ya dualukum, ya dualukum.
If you in here, state your name, put it in the comment section. You are relevant. Coom, salutations to the primes.
Ya dualukum, ya dualukum.
So allow me some time to set up the video and just put it together a little bit. What's up? Peace to the family. I want to say thank you for everybody that's coming in. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for everybody watching in the YouTube, the Facebook, as well as across the universe. All right, so I have a couple things I wanted to share with y'all tonight, today, wherever you are on the planet. I wanted to break down today's date in the Codex is actually what is it, 868? I don't know if anybody know the date in the Codex, put it in the comments section. Just make sure we can build on that. So of course I'm going to talk about the real matrix, of course, and how to think. What did he say? Say that again. Yeah. What's up? You in here, state your name, put it in the comment section. 8928. All right, so today's date in the Codex is 8928. I'm going to be building on those numbers. Shout out to Sabrina. Peace. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. All right. Cool. So we're almost ready to begin. If you can share the video, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate if you share the video. I will be doing readings tonight utilizing the magic stones of the Zodiac. So if anybody would like a reading, I'll do a reading for them as well. All right. Shout out to the one and only Oracle in the building. Boom. Salutations. Share the video, y'all. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. We're about to begin the show. Turn it up. Turn it up. Wherever you at, turn it up. Let's begin the show. Motivated. I want to say peace to the Messiahs, to you and yours. Shout out. Peace to the movement. You know who you are. Thank you for your attendance. So we'll be breaking down the mainframe. We'll be breaking down the mainframe. Of course, we'll be breaking down this purple pill. You already know. Wherever you at before we begin, just sing along. Get motivated. All right, all right, all right, all right. What's going on, y'all? Peace to the family. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. I'm gonna put it in the comment section. Can you hear me loud and clear? Yes or no? If y'all can hear me loud and clear, we'll begin. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, we'll begin. All right. I get a yes. I got a yes, yes, yes. All right. Cool, cool. All right, that's cool. Feeling good. All right, so let's start the discussion. All right. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Sister Sabrina. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so let me introduce myself. Thank you for everybody that's watching in the YouTube and the Facebook, everybody watching across the universe. I'm going to say thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to introduce myself. I am the Solar Prime Supreme Minister of the Messiah Code Movement. I am known as Lazarus Lamel, 131 Solar Prime Supreme. Okay, so I want to share a little bit of thoughts with you guys tonight, or you ladies tonight, you messiahs, you kings, you queens, you emperors and empresses. I'd like to share a couple thoughts with you tonight. Also, I will be giving reference to the Dualu nonprofit corporation that I want to share with you. I want to share the bylaws with y'all tonight. These bylaws are universal, so it's just a way that we can connect up and people can have an idea of what the Dualu nonprofit corporation represents. Shout out to Brother Justin Peters, holding down the Messiah Code. I want to say thank you, Brother Justin. I can't wait to see you, and I hope that you get baptized next year in Puerto Rico. It would be an honor if one of the great members will baptize you, or even myself can baptize you. All right. So first of all, I like to begin, and I would like to ask, how many degrees are in a circle before we begin the discussion? All right. This is the first question I ask the chat or the community in order to qualify the just the conversation where we're gonna go. All right, Kum, salutations. Thank you, brother Just. How many degrees in a circle? Please put it in the comment section. You are relevant. How many degrees in a circle? You should come up with the equation of 361 degrees. How many degrees are in a circle? I would like to know, please. For anybody that's just beginning, just learning what the Messiah code is, I'll share with you why we say it's 361 degrees. So thank you, Sister Sabrina. All right. So you are new here, and I want to share the idea of what the 361 degrees represents. All right. So 361 degrees represents the dot that's in the middle of the circle. Okay. It's like the dot in your eye, or the dot that's at your eye, in the center of your eye. All right. So, in order to calculate the circle, in order to find the circumference of the circle, in order to find the area or even the volume of a sphere, you need to know where the dot is or where the center of the circle is. All right. So, this is the one dot that they forgot. All right. And not only that, Sister Sabrina, you actually you observe the world from the center. You are the dot, sister. If anything, I can tell you, you represent the dot, all right, in the center of your circle of life, all right, and everything revolves around you. So you are the 361, all right, and 361 is actually 19 times 19, all right. So it has balance on it because these are the numbers that flow between 1 and 9, sister. All right. So when you multiply 19 times itself, you get 361 as the equation. All right. And that equation represents the idea that the dot in the middle is a degree that you need to count. And it represents the observer's position. It's the same thing in quantum physics. If they would do some form of quantum physics, they always count the observer in the equation. Just like if we would deal with motion, or we deal with some sort of calculation dealing with motion, we know that everything is in motion. Thank you. Thank you, sis. So we live in an age of information. In this age of information, we are upgrading our technology, our spiritual technology. Everything is like a technological advancement on how you can spiritually utilize yourself. Okay? So what we're doing here in the Messiah Code, we're learning how to reprogram our body, we're learning how to reprogram our mind, we're learning how to reprogram our habits, we're learning how to reprogram ourselves, from the world. And this is the box that we consider that, that they put us in. This is the box that they trapped us in. And this is the part of the topic that I would like to talk to you about, sister, is about escaping this box, and about getting out of this box here. All right. And what I want to share with you is that, you are a Messiah. A Messiah is a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. All right. And the matrix or mainframe conscious that we living in, you have a couple choices. All right. Shout out to Trill. What's up? Peace to Trill, Rahul Bat. Shout out to Trill in the building. You already know it's 361 degrees. That's the dot. That's the dot in the middle. Thank you, my brother. So, like I said, it is a matrix. Can I get a share too, please? Can I get like 10 shares if you care? Can I get 10 shares if you care, please? All right, because I'm going to break down something exclusive. Maybe a couple people never heard this information, and a couple people need to hear it as well. All right. So again, yeah, it's the dot that's in the center of the circle that they forgot. Peace and love to Sister Kimberly, Messiah Code All Stars. Thank you for all of y'all coming in. All right. So, like I said, the idea is to think outside of the box. What is the box? Let me break this box down to you, sister. Just real simple. If you notice this box, it has 6 sides associated with it. All right. You see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got 2 at the one at the top and one at the bottom. Do you see that? Does everybody see this box right here? Yes or no? Does everybody see the box has 6 sides? Can you see that? Because I want everybody to get educated. 6 sides to this box. All right? Does everybody see 6 sides on this box? Yes or no? All right? Yes or no? Do you see 6 sides on this box? All right? Because the 6 sides represent, all right, yes. Okay, Sister Sabrina said, yes, I see 6 sides on this box. So you got all around you, and then you got the one on top and one on bottom. That's the 6 sides. So the 6 sides are associated with the idea of carbon, because carbon is the cell or the walls of the cell. Carbon are the walls of the cell. All right. Now, you might say, what do you mean? Because carbon is the 6th element and we are carbonated beings. And carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. But I'm going to tell you something, sis. This is very, very relevant. It's very relevant because it's something I showed y'all in this build right here called the mainframe. I showed y'all something about the square of Saturn, but I showed y'all something else. You see this calculation right here. 2116 is really 216. All right, because the 2 ones are really 1. Those 2 ones are really 1. It's the same digit. So that is 216. All right? And 216 equals 6 times, hold up, 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. All right? And I'm going to tell you what this means. This right here is the cell. This is the cell. This is the box that they locked us in. All right? And this speaks of it in the book of Revelations right here. You don't believe me? Look at this right here. Do the math on it, sister. You see the numbers? I'm utilizing the same number. This is in connection to the book of Revelations. You already know. Rahubat, Kayatha Antuk, Kayatha Anta 10. Peace to my family. Hauni. You already know. We can go there. Peace to the family. But let's build. Let's build on this. So this 2116 represented the box that they put us in. All right. If you notice, it says, in the city lieth 4 square, and the length of it is as large as its breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs, and the length and breadth and the height of it are equal. They're talking about a box. See, New Jerusalem, when they talk about New Jerusalem in chapter 21 of the book of Revelations, they're actually talking about Dar Islam. See, Dar Islam is this, what they call it in Islam. It's really a state that lands on your mind. See, the mothership is the relationship with the mothers and fathers, but is the mothership lands on your mind. Just like it's called in Islam, Dar Islam, but it also lands on your heart as well. So you have to know how to embrace these things. All right. But it's the cube, it's the box that you trapped in. And that's what it's talking about in the book of Revelations, because this is the cell. This is the cell that has us trapped. This is the cell that has us trapped. Now, you might say, well, what are the bars? Where are the bars associated with this cell, Lamel? Well, here go the bars right here. It's 12 bars. It's 12 lines. You see that? Look at this box again. Sister Sabrina, if you in here, look at this box. How many lines do you utilize to create this box? I want to know. For anybody, put it in the comment section. You got 12 lines associated with this box. Am I right? 12 lines. To create the box is 12 lines. You see, you can count them up. Tell me if y'all see that, yes or no. Put it in the comment section if you see it. 12 lines, count them all. You count 12 lines to create this box. And you might say, well, what is these 12 lines associated? Well, these 12 lines are the 12 Zodiac signs. I see it. Yes, Sister Sabrina said, I'm able to count 12 bars. 12 bars. Yeah, that's the cell, bro. The 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Yo, King. Yo, Trill. That's the cell that they got us in. The carbonated cell. That's the lower state of man. It doesn't represent the higher state of man. All right. And I can show you how to break out of this box. It's not by being trapped in linear numbers. Linear numbers are the numbers 1 through 9. Yo, linear numbers are the numbers 1 through 9. Check this out. Look at this. When you see this box right here, the box started off like this. Let me show y'all real quick. I'm running through the build. My fault. Look at this. The box started off like this. Listen how I broke it down. Look at this. All right. Look at this. If I ask you what's your birthday, right? Your birthday flows between a 1 and 31 number. That's why it's the sacred name in the sacred number, LML. That's the secret. That's the big secret that they hiding from you. It's the sacred name and a sacred number, because the sacred name is 131 and the sacred number or the sacred name are both equal, because Lamel is a palindrome name. Lamel. Try to say it frontwards and backwards. You say it frontwards and backwards, just like 131. That's this right here, the lion's paw. When you shake, that's why that a sacred shake is done like that. When people shake like this, it's called the lion's paw. You know why it's called the lion's paw? I'm just saying, bro, Trill, I know you know what I'm talking about. This handshake right here. But when they shaking you, I'm telling you the deeper secret of it. The deeper secret of it is the Lamb who is El, or I am El, because Lamel is really I. Look at this. I am El. Real simple. Real simple. Lamel is I am El. All right. So that's the 131. 131. All right. And that these are all the dots to connect. So you know what I'm talking about is true. A lot of these people that went through these sacred houses, they know what I'm talking about in reference to the handshake. All right. But I'm going to tell you the deeper meaning of it, because the deeper meaning of it is the master who stands between the owls and the elves. And the owls and the elves is really the owl. It's the sacred bird. It's the bird that sees through the darkness of the disparity. It's able to see through the mysteries and solve these mysteries. And that's why, what do you think? Why do you think we brought y'all the purple pill? Like, people were so busy taking the blue pill and so busy willing to take the red pill, not knowing it was your duty really to take the purple pill, Messiah. It was your duty to take the purple pill all along. It was not for you to forget. That's the blue pill. It was not for you to sacrifice your loved one like Neo sacrificed Trinity in a movie. He sacrificed the only person he loved when he took the red pill so he can connect up with the source. All right? Did he not? Look at this. Psych. He cared about Morpheus. What'd he do? He sacrificed Morpheus. That was the only person he loved. So the red pill is really serious. And it's about sacrifice the people that told you the truth. All right? We don't do that. We are the willing sacrifice. We don't forget. We are willing to forgive, though. You feel me? The 314, that's where the dot comes from, bro. Because the Revelations 314 is where they say the Amun, the hidden one that was there since the beginning of creation. That's Revelations 3:14. That's the dot in the middle of the circle. Shout out to La'Ankh, Messiah Code All Stars coming in. Coom, you already know what it is. So peace to everybody putting up the MeWe's as well. Thank you. So let's build on this. So you only got the numbers 1 through 31. If I ask you what's your birthday flows between a 1 and 31 number. You know why that's so important? You know why that's so significant? Because when Pope Gregory the 13th changed the calendar, the Roman calendar, you know why they changed it? Because they was trying to predict or breed a Messiah. For real, you don't believe me? Look at this. Watch this. This is something probably you never heard before, but I'm going to share it with you because I'm not teaching you anything. It belongs to you. Look at this. January 31st, right? What is January? Janus. That is the one that sees in the past and the future. That is the god Janus. That's what the Janus represents. But what's so deep about January is January has 31 days, right? So that's your alpha and omega, Janus. Janus is able to see past, present, and future, alpha and omega. So now, January 31st and October 31st, guess what? They fall on the same day. They say they fall on the same day every year. You don't believe me? Go try my hand. Every year they fall on the same day, January 31st. Yeah, shout out to my cousin Dunn in the building. Coom, shout out to the All Stars. Yo, January 31st and October 31st fall on the same day every year. And who did this? Pope Gregory the 13th in 1582 in the month of October. They switched it all up. Why would they switch it up in October? Yeah, the 111. All three are one. Because if you go to 11, if you go to what's after October, you got All Saints Day, All Souls Day, All Saints Day, right after October 31st. And what is that? All Saints Day, which or All Souls Day, is 111. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Dunn. He put it in there. Look, 111. Because that's after January 31st. See, this is a sacred number. When you break down the cube structure, when you break down the cube structure, the first cube that you learn is the one. Look, you learn the one. You learn the one because one cube equals one. So all three are one. One times one equals one. All that's the cube. That's what you learn. 131. You see that? That's Harukmen. Look at this. I'm showing y'all right there. Harukmen is 131. See, one cube is equals one. So it's 131. And that connects you to Harukmen. And you might say, well, what is Harukmen? Harukmen is the movement. It's the essence of how everything vibrates, how everything moves. What if I tell you things don't move in a straight line? Think about nature, right? When you look at the buildings that they put you in, the prisons that they put you in, the houses that they put you in, what are they? They're square. They're square. You know why they're square? Because the square represents the box that they put you in as well. All right, look at it. Nature doesn't create in a box. Name one thing that the nature created in a whole square box. Nothing. I mean, the body, you can say it represents a box, but it's not a box. All right, you can say the head represents the circle and then the body represents the box. I get that. That's sacred geometry, but nature doesn't create in straight lines. It doesn't think linear. It thinks in a curvature nature, like a woman's belly when she's giving birth to creation. It's in a curvature nature. So that's what it's really about. And that's how we connect up to the divine thoughts. So the first things first is, yo, you got to break out of the box. And I told people this for everybody, I need y'all to pay attention to this. Yo, how do you dial the operator? Because if you notice, it is no zero. It is no zero on this box. So when we in the matrix, right? when we in the matrix, one thing is in the matrix, you got to figure out how you going to get out of the matrix. All right. So you have to call the operator first before the operator can call you, because the operator tells you where the landline is, right? I'm just saying, breaking it down. The operator tells you where the landline is. So once they tell you where the landline is, you go there and then you're able to escape. All right. But what's so deep is, and this is the magic square of Saturn that has us trapped. Saturn is really all about discipline. I'm not really mad at Saturn. You say, oh man, he's mad at Saturn. Oh, he just got a problem with any Saturn force or whatever like that. No, I'm not. No, Saturn has a good essence to it as well, but Saturn is really all about discipline. This is what we're going through in the school of thought here on Earth. We're going through a state of discipline. So we're trapped in here until we learn. We learn how to dial the operator. So you might say, well, how do I dial the operator? It's no zero on here. It's no zero on here. That's why you got to know how to utilize binary, because if you tapped into binary, what you know is 11 11 11 11 is the way to dial that operator. And you might say, well, why 11 11? Because 11 11 represents the Messiah here on earth. Look, listen, when you break down the 24 elders, don't you know you got 24 elders or 24 hours that guard the earth? You got 24 elders or 24 hours of energy that guard each portion of the earth. All right. But it also guards a spirit of the Messiah and how you can tap into the divine creation. Now, for instance, like you got the first elder is at 12 o'clock. All right. The second elder is at 12 o'clock noon. But the first elder is at 12 o'clock midnight. All right. See, right now it's 11:03. Comb. The Messiah has taken over. All right, which is the 23rd seat. As you go up the elders, you'll see like the second hour of or 2 a.m. is dedicated to the third elder. All right, and then it will go. Excuse me, 1 a.m. One a.m. to 2 a.m. is dedicated to the third elder. All right, and then it'll be one p.m. to 2 p.m. is dedicated to the fourth elder. And then you go on, and what you will see is that the Messiah, who is the 23rd elder and also the 24th elder, the Messiah guards two positions, one on high as the network and one on earth in order to restore the message. All right, that's it, to broadcast the signal. That's what it's really all about. That's why the 1 and 31. Because if you think about the body of the Messiah, right? The body is breaking up into 31 pieces. The Messiah takes the right foot. Why? So he can move on the earth, so he can walk amongst us. But he took the 31, which is the head. And if you go into gematria, what is the number 31? It's El, it's the source. That's the source of creation. It adds up to 31. All right. And then go check this out. How many verses are in the first chapter of Genesis? How many verses are in the first chapter of Genesis? It's only 31 verses in the first chapter of Genesis. So that's a 1 through 31. And then that was when God completed everything and said it was good. See, when God said it was good, it's not what you think. He said, oh man, it's good. Because when God said it was good, that means it was harmonious. Things were moving in a harmonious cycle. When God said it was so, that means it was divine order in his creation. This doesn't like it, I don't want to lower the throne in any type of way, but these words have power when we talk about the realm of creation. All right. But this is the box that they had us trapped in. And the only way to get out when you utilize binary, see, because think about this. I showed y'all on here what's so significant about this square is that all the numbers are balanced. They're balanced by the number 5. That's the magic. That's what you should have noticed. This is actually it's an atom. It's an atom. It is it is the structure of what an atom would look like. And what you see on these sides are protons. It's the number of protons and electrons that are balanced, and it's almost like a covalent bond, but it's more deeper than a covalent bond because it goes up to the level of 6. All right, not 4, because a covalent bond is like when carbon binds with other atoms utilizing 4 edges or 4 wings of itself in order to bond to other elements. That's a covalent bond. But what I'm telling you, this right here is bonded to your soul, is bonded to your spirit in some sort of way. So in order to break out of this, you had to balance it. That was the riddle, how to balance this square of Saturn. And you had, how you balanced it, you made all the numbers add to 15. You noticed that. You made all these numbers add to 15, no matter where they're going at. They add into 15. All right. So that way you're able to tap into the frequency of thought. All right. Shout out to Sister Lauren, Messiah Code All Star. Thank you for everybody tuning in across the universe. All right. So, like I was saying, breaking this stuff down, we're going back to the cube. And what I'm saying is the first cube you need to know is the 131. The 131 is number 1, Harukment. Harukment is 131 because 1 cube equals 1. And then what I'm telling you is, you might say, well, what is 1 significant about? Because listen, instead of saying God is 1, what if I tell you that number 1 right there in Harukment represents wholeness? Forget saying God is 1, because if I say God is 1, that is the same thing when they talked about Neo was the 1, or the same thing it is no 1, it is the whole. That's what God is. God is wholeness, because when I am connected to this energy, when I'm feeling in love with this energy, guess what? I feel whole. I don't feel incomplete. All right. I don't feel like I need anything because I got God. Do you know what I'm saying? But you can put any word, you can insert any word, because I told you God is number 1. But when you look at that number 1, I don't want you to look at number 1 like in a sense of separation or individuality. I want you to look at that number 1 as wholeness, like feeling complete. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about, in essence, to what I'm sharing with you tonight. All right. So yeah, about the 12 edges. I showed y'all that in the cube, right? Excuse me. Let me see this. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to this, right? I showed y'all this in the cube, right? Remember this. I showed y'all that in the cube, right? And this is about thinking outside of the box, stepping outside of the box, stepping out of your normal, stepping out of what. Listen. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't have no problem with any religion of old, whether you want to be into Egypt, or whether you want to be a Hebrew, whether you want to be a Muslim, whether you want to be a Native American. I have no problem with any past spirituality that anybody has embraced. But what I need to tell you tonight, I need you to get in your mind. And I'm going to say this at 11:11. I'm going to say this at 11:11. But what I'm about to say to you tonight, I need you to really just contemplate on what I'm going to say to you, because you are the gods and goddesses that they will be worshiping thousands of years from now. You are those same great individuals. You just have to embrace your greatness. That's it. Now, you can go back. It's 1111. 1111. Please say, if anybody can put this in the comment section, please put Coom. We dialing up right now. We dialing up. We dialing up. Put Coom in the comment section. Please, if you can, put Coom. You might wonder, well, what is Coom? This is one we dial up. We use Coom to dial up. Kum is the power word to dial up, because kum represent the lightning that strikes your mind, but it also strikes your heart, and the expression becomes the thunder. So it's kum. Thank you, kum, kum. Put it in the comment section. Kum, kum. Put it in the comment section, please. Put it in the comment section. It's relevant that you put it in there, because you have ignited the frequency. You have ignited the frequency. You have ignited that. Kum. You know the correct pronunciation of kum? Wherever you at, I'm gonna show you the correct pronunciation of kum. Listen, when you say kum, you gotta not only say it, you gotta tap your heart or stomp your feet. So you say, listen, you say kum. You say kum, stomp your feet. Kum. That's how you say the word. Kum. Or kum. Touch your heart. Touch your heart. Kum. Or kum, stomp your feet. That's the proper pronunciation of the word kum. And it represents the lightning that strikes your mind. Like lightning, when it strikes, the cloud of thought that's in your mind, and then the expression becomes the thunder. The expression becomes the thunder. Kum. So that's why you touch the ground or touch your heart, because you felt something. You felt something. All right. And this is what's going to lead you to step outside of the box. Ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, emperors and empresses. All right. All those things of the past are really great. They're really great. You know what? I support all of that. But I'm going to tell you, you are great as well. And the only thing you need to do is hug on and hold on to your greatness. You hear me? Messiah. A Messiah is a leader or savior of a particular group or cause. Now, shout out to the primes. Peace to the primes. All of y'all are the primes. You want to know what prime you are? Like, see, the primes represent the prime numbers. Okay? See, each number that is a prime represents uniqueness. Okay? So, for instance, shout out Kum. So, you might want to say, well, what are the primes? I'm going to break down the prime. So you got one, you got zero. Look at this, zero, and any number divisible by two are your neutral primes. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. All right. Now remember, we're only going 1 through 31. 1 through 31, because these are only numbers they gave us. Nobody has the zero. Am I right? Nobody was born on a zero. That station is for God. That station is for the universal principle. So if your number is divisible by 2 in your birthday, you are what is called a neutral prime. And neutral primes, it's not like the Zodiac signs. No, you have a job to do, because what happens is you in God's army. So you in information. You in information. You getting information. That's why when God said it was so, he's talking about order. That's the same thing. You're in formation. You're in formation. All right? And I can even break that word down, because formation, or to form, is actually the 13th attribute of Allah. The 13th attribute of Allah is called Sawar. It means to fashion or to form or to shape. That's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took a physical body at the age of 13. I'm trying to tell you, it's all in there. So if your numbers are divisible by 2, you are a neutral prime. Now, if you have a 1 or a 9, a 1 or 9, this is called a lunar prime. If you have that in your birthday. Now, Don't put the year in the comment section if you're wondering what prime you are, because we don't know what year it is. Nobody knows what year it is. Nobody knows when everything just came in, because it always is and it always was. That's why we follow the cycles. That is Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. That's the animated and the dormant AD. All right. So the 1 and the 9 are your lunar prime. So if anybody coming in here, you just coming in here, I'm talking about the age of information. Some call it the age of Aquarius. All right. But in this age of information, you are no longer, you don't have any zodiac signs, because you are going to be born out of this planet. You're going to be born on different planets. You're going to be born in different solar systems. So the zodiac signs do not matter to you no more. Only thing matter to you are the numbers. All right. And the numbers represent your designated position within the universe. That represent your designated weight. So you are what is called a vector. See, a vector, even though 9 is a lunar number, I'm gonna give you what a vector is, sister, because a vector are the leaders. When you have the 9 number in front as a lunar position, you are the leader. You are the leader of the lunar position. All right. But let me get to that, because you got the solar numbers, which are 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 27, 29, and 31. These are all solar numbers that represent the solar primes. These are the solar prime numbers. All right. From 1 through 31. All right. So these are the new, I'm not going to call it zodiac signs. This represents a job description, like what you here to do, what you here to conquer, what you here to conquer on this earth. That's what these numbers represent. I'm not going to get all bougie and say, oh man, your personality is like this and your personality is like that. No, you in God's army. We not playing no games where it's some old fluff. You getting a bunch of fluff. No, you got a job description. When you get these numbers, all these numbers represent your job description on this earth. This is the only thing I can tell you. You can play around and do whatever you want to do with it, but it represents your job description. Whatever number you plugged into on this planet, yeah, it's your job description. So that's 319. That's a solar prime supreme. 319 is a solar prime supreme. You see that? You hit twice. 319. So 319 is a solar prime supreme. Solar prime supreme. 319. Shout out to 830 neutral prime supreme. 830 neutral prime supreme. 830 neutral prime supreme. All right. Neutral prime supreme. All right. So hear me out. 830 neutral prime supreme. All those numbers are divisible by 2. So look at this. Again, that represents the power of the neutral prime. Okay. Now, like I was saying, all the numbers that flow between 1 and 31. Now remember, y'all, we are in the age of information. Aquarius, y'all can call it. We are in the age of information. So you have to be in formation and know what this is all about. All right. So, I'm showing y'all the job descriptions that you have here on this planet as the prime. Shout out to the primes and peace to the primes. All right. So Now I show you the solar. The solar primes, you are the idealistic people. You are meant to be the creators. You are meant to discover things. You are meant to go in places or be ambassadors in some form of fashion. That is the identity job description of the solar prime. All right. So if you are a creative person, Sister Lauren, let it go. Be more creative. The universe is plugging you in. And Brother Trill, you 830. 830 is what? Supreme balance. That's supreme balance. Because eight is really great, but eight is my Taurus, the Taurus field. The Taurus field. Because if you notice, the number eight looks like a Taurus field, but the Taurus field represents the mind. Because when you think about Rastafari, Rastafari is really is the Rosh represents the head. Rosh represents the head, and Ta is the one that opens what is in the head by the utterance of what is in his mouth. Yeah. So yeah, that is your identity. That is your job description, Sister Lauren. So kick butt, and really go in in your greatness. Walk in your greatness. All right. So now let me break this stuff down because I wanted to break down Sister Sabrina because she has two numbers, right? She has a vector number because the vector numbers are 3, 6, and 9. Those are your vector primes. Vector prime numbers. Prime numbers. Those are your vector. These are your leaders. These are the ones that are meant to lead us. If you have a 3 as your first number, shout out. Shout out to Milana. Peace to Messiah Cole. All stars coming in. Thank you. If you have a 3, 6, or 9 in the first number of your birthday, that means you're meant to be a leader. Like if you're in March, or if you're in June, or if you're in September, that means you're meant to lead us. You are meant to lead the flock. We are to follow you because the 3s are the ones that lead the solar primes. The 6s are the ones that lead the neutral primes. And the 9s are the ones that lead the lunar prime. All right. This is how it goes. All right. So now breaking down these numbers so y'all can see it in the age of information, in the age of Aquarius. Because remember, if y'all counting what's today's date in the age of Aquarius, just if I can share it with y'all, I went over that in the beginning. Today's date in the codex is actually 8/9/28. 8/9/28. And I'll break that stuff down because it's actually 392 days in the calendar. They lied to you, man. 365, that is sun worship. That is nothing but a sun worship. We don't worship the sun. We give reference to the sun. We don't worship it in a sense of how people would worship it in 365 cycles. So we go back to creation. Creation was built on the 7. God or the universe created everything in 7 days. You say, nah, that's a fable story. No, and actually the 7 days represent the 7 divine principles, which is the mind, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. That is those represent the 7 days of creation. That's how God created everything and said it was good and said it was so, meaning that it was in order and it was harmonious. All right. So yeah. So the when I said the 369, they're the leaders of those numbers. But it was other numbers that I didn't discuss, which is 15, uh 15, 21, and 25. This is your axis prime. Axis prime. So if your birthday falls on those numbers, you are meant to be the axis. You're meant to be what everyone revolves around. That is your job description. All right? The lunar prime, the lunar prime is meant to guard the secrets of the universe. Now you can be a lunar prime supreme, like for instance, if you are 9-9, if your birthday is a 9-9, that is a lunar prime supreme, but it's really considered to be a vector prime supreme. Just like 3-3 could be a vector prime supreme, even though it's a solar number. It's a double power of the solar number. So if you March 3rd, it's a vector prime supreme. You meant to be a leader. If you 9-9, you meant to be a leader. All right. If you 1-1, which is January 1st, you are also meant to be a leader as well. All right. All of these positions are connected with the numbers, but they lead us or get us out of the box. All right. So let me break some more of these things down. See, now the first thing, now I gave y'all the numbers, right? 1 through 31. And what I explained was 1111 represented the time of day that the Messiah takes over, which is 11. Look at this. It's a sacred time. We're in the sacred time right now. 11 p.m. through 12 o'clock a.m. And then it's 11 a.m. through 12 p.m. That's when the Messiah, the energy is in movement. All right. So hear me out on this. So this right here represents the angle or the angel. Now remember, the elders told us, they say phonetically the word angel is the word angle. All right. But they didn't tell you that this angle is in relation to the prism. It's the rectangular prism. All right. Okay. Because the rectangular prism is the book. Okay. And when you look at the edge of a rectangular prism, it's the same thing as a box. It's the same thing as a box. And then you have to interpret it. You interpreted the box through the angle. That's how you get out of it. Because the light is flowing through the angle. And then you interpret it as many colors of vibration. These are vibratory nodes or vibratory frequencies that come into your thought and how you interpret reality. Because the sun is not really emitting light. The sun is really emitting thought. It's emitting thought. And how you interpret it is light. All right? You interpret it as light, but it's really thought. All right? So moving forward. So you get the light from the angel or from the angle. All right? Which is at the vertice. Because remember when we was talking, we said how many. Oh man, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I just began reading your book, The Magic Stones of the Codex. I love it, brother. Well, if you got the Magic Stones of the Codex, if you inbox me in Facebook or email the movement, I'll send you a stone set. Because the Magic Stones actually the Magic Stones, you know, these are real magic stones because they actually have my mother's ashes embedded in them. So I send the people that I get a good energy from, I send them stones that are embedded with the ashes of my mother, if you want to know. All right. So let me but you can email or just inbox me, and I'll send you a set. Okay, hear me out. So the light is shining through the angle. All right, the angle is the angel, but what is so deep about that this prism right here is that the way to escape it is not through straight lines. Like you think life is going in a straight line, in a straight direction, and you think, man, the way I got to get out of this box is in a straight path, in a straight direction. And then what you learn is that life has so many twists and turns to it. So now you begin to spiral. And that's how you escape the cube. Because when you try to kick up against the walls of the cube, you can't break out because the walls are designed for you to kick up against it. The wall is law. Look at this. Wall is law. That's it. And if you try to kick up against the wall or the law, it is designed to make the structure even smaller. So the walls will shrink in on you. So if you notice, you have 8 points that are associated with this. 8 points. Those 8 points are the 8 vertices. The 8 vertices are your eyes. You get what I'm saying? Now you get what I'm saying? Because now you're seeing the vertices, all of them are one. You're seeing all the vertices are one. All right? And you see them as 1 point. One angular position that you get in, one message, wholeness. All right. So as you receive that message, like I said, many interpret it as light, but it's not light. The sun is emitting information. It's 11:33 right now. Cool. 11:33 on your clock. Shout out. That's a 131. That's a 131. 11:33. Cool. All right. So building on the science, you get what I'm saying? The rectangular prism. You utilize the rectangular prism to break out of the cube. All right. The cube is the box. All right. The rectangular prism is the book. That's when you stretch the cube out. That's when you stretch the cube out and you make a book. Because your life is a book. Look, hear me out on this. This symbol right here, is a divine symbol. Why? Because if you notice, you can measure what's to and fro, right? That's your area. Okay? You have to master your area. What's in your area? And every side of the cube is called the face. So everything that you face represents your area. That's your immediate environment. You must know how to face these things. All right? That's one portion of the cube. All right? Then you had the height. The height. It's the height of your mind too. You're tested by the height or what you are willing to endure. What you are willing to endure. That is the height of your mind. So when you put area times height, when you multiply area times height, what do you get? You get volume. You get volume. You know what the volume is? Yo, the volume is the book. The volumes are the books that you write, the book of life. It's your name in the book of life. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you tested by what's in your area. And every side of a cube, or it's called a Qibla, or a direction. You get what I'm saying? Because you need to know the direction of where you're going in life, because that direction also represent where you are praying towards. Because think about this, like I said, if like in Islam, when the Muslims pray, they pray towards a Qibla so they can know where the cube is. And that cube in Mecca, whether y'all know it or not, it is 13.1 meters, and it is high. It is 13.1 meters high, and it is 11.3 meters across. That's a 131. If you don't believe me, go look. I can go pull it up right now and put it on the screen and show you the information that the Kaaba, the cube in Mecca, is actually the it's symbolic of the hardware that's relative to the software that has us in prison. Yeah, you have to spiral your spirit out of the cube. That's why I told y'all don't deal with them 365 days. No, it's 392 days in the calendar. Why is that? Because, like I said, I brought y'all back to the seven. If creation was done in seven, why would you be linear and take the path of 365 and it is not evenly divisible by seven? Why would you pay? And then the moment, look, let me tell y'all how old y'all are, really. I'm going to give y'all something that's going to blow your mind. You are not supposed to count the age that you're counting on how they giving it to you. That's Lucifer. Not Lucifer like, people are twisting it up and making Lucifer good and everything like that and saying it was a deception of what Lucifer means. I'm not talking about none of that. What I'm telling you is that it's Lucifer because it's the sun, it's the falling star. It's the falling star, not the falling star as in Venus, but the falling star as the sun. All right, you supposed to follow cycles, not that sun. You're supposed to follow certain cycles, and the cycle is seven. You're going back to the seven. All right, so yeah, the Messiah was named on the eighth day, and the eight vertices represent how he saw himself, because the vertices represent the vertical, the height. It represents the height. But the vertices are connected to the eyes. That's why you got the number eight. You have the number eight associated with it because the number eight is the vertices of the cube in order for you to see yourself. The only way the eyes can see itself is through reflection. All right. So as you breaking this stuff down and you understanding, man, that man, this matrix stuff is real deep. And one thing is, we don't choose the blue pill or the red pill. What do we choose, y'all? We choose the purple pill. All right. In this matrix, and what? We don't follow the rabbit. No, we follow the turtle. Y'all hear me? We follow the great ancestor shell. Shell. All right? That's what it's all about. And then we connect up with the great owl, which is El, Lamel, the network. All right? And then you got cow and sail. And cow represents will. This is the four-part symmetry of the mind. See, yes, area times height equals volume. Look at this. When I talk about volume, I know I was talking about volumes of books. I know I was talking about volumes of books, but you know what I was talking about, family? Trill? I was talking about volume like sound, like emitting sound, a frequency of thought. Because I am is amplitude modulation. Yo, AM is really amplitude modulation. And how you modulate the signal is through your emotional intent. That's why it is energy in motion. Look at this. I break this down, bro. Like I break this down so heavy in this bill right here when I talk about the radio. I talk about the idea that you can turn yourself into a radio. You can actually turn yourself into a radio of sorts. All right, my fault. I wanted to show y'all some stuff. Yeah. So yeah, we thinking outside of the box. We thinking outside of the box. I wanted to show y'all something in essence to this. I broke down all of these things, man. Yo, I broke down all of these things, man, in essence to how we tap into the higher echelon of reality, and it's knowing the cube. Listen, when y'all see these numbers, now y'all see the cube. Now y'all see the cube. 131 is the first cube that you know, which is Harukmen. One cube is 131. The second cube you know is 8, because 2 cube is 8. And then you can go on, so on. You move on the cubes. So when you see these numbers, you're actually seeing yourself in a cube. Let's say if you run into these numbers, in your daily life, you're actually in a cube. You say, man, I keep on seeing this number over and over again. I saw 35, 9, 37. I saw that. That was, well, that was 33 cubed. You might see these numbers in license plates. You might see these numbers in different places. I'm showing you the spiritual archetypes that connect with them. I mean, you can take time and screenshot this if you want, or you can just like run the video back and forth, and or you can just get a couple books. I put this stuff in a book. But all of these represent the spiritual archetypes of the numbers that flow between 1 and 99. And you must know the cube in order to correspond these thoughts. You must know your mathematics, the cube, from 1 to 99. This, you know what this means? And if not, teach it to the children. If you don't feel like you got time to do it, how about this? If you teach the children the cubes, guess what? They will be master builders. That would be master builders. I like how you put that 888 is hydrogen, yeah, or oxygen. But 888 is actually gematria for the Messiah as well. It's also gematria for the Messiah. Will you hear me out on this? Look at this. When you know the cube, when you step in the building, you know the dimensions of everywhere you're at. When you know the cube, you know how to modulate your signal. Now listen on this, right? You got to think about this, right? When you send out a signal, now we talk about Schumann resonance right here, all right? Now remember, the Akasha records is really the ionosphere. Yo, listen, bro, check me out. The Akasha records are really the ionosphere of the planet. All right. Now, the ionosphere, it vibrates or it connects up in Schumann resonance. Okay. Now, it might be saying that bass, that raw bass or something like that. Some people call it that. But it is a tone, a natural vibration that the earth emits. Okay. Schumann resonance. But you can actually tap into Schumann resonance with the emotional tent of what is in your heart, because you have a dual modulating circuit. The dual modulating circuit is your olfactory bulb, and your pineal gland. All right. When you see a dot right here, the dot on people's head right there, is not symbolic of the pineal gland. No, because the pineal gland is in the hypothalamus area of the brain, which is lodged in like inside right here, back here, up in there, almost in the middle of your brain. No, they're giving reference to the olfactory bulb. This is the olfactory bulb right here. The olfactory bulb connects with what you know. All right. It's your nose, because when you breathe, your olfactory bulb is right above your nasal cavity, right here. All right, right above your nasal cavity. So remember, to and fro, boom, right above your nasal cavity, you have your olfactory bulb. All right. So when you smell certain smells, it makes you remember certain things. If you breathe a certain way, if you have a certain breath, guess what? You'll start to remember certain things as well, not just things what happened, yesteryears, but you'll start to remember the ancient ones. See, you got to utilize irrational numbers. They closed us with the 1 through 9. Though that's a linear path that closes you in the box. We deal with irrational numbers, numbers that go on forever and ever. All right, like pi, like Euler's number, like the square root of 2. All right, and it's many other numbers that are irrational numbers that go on forever and ever and ever. All right, with no closed doors, none. So that you use the spiral of your thought in order to transfer the signal. You use the spiraling of your thoughts in order to transfer the signal. All right, and it's all generated from your heart, but you're in certain breath cycles in order to do this. All right, which are connected to irrational numbers. So yes, you breathe in and out. You breathe. All right, this is how you connect up to the divine. That's how you activate your third eye. Your third eye is a dual modulating circuit. It is not just your pineal gland. You need your olfactory bulb in your meditation, because how are you going to feel things in your meditation? Like when you're in your meditative world, like when you're in your meditation, you need the dual modulating circuit, because this allows you to feel in your meditation. All right? Yeah. So, like I said, you tap into the codex, and the way to get out of the box is first utilizing the rectangular prism, which is the book. All right? You see things in another way. You see right here, this is the tetrahedron. This allows you to tap into the third helix. You see this? You only have 2 helixes here, but it is a way to tap into the third helix of your DNA. It is a way to tap into the third helix. And you might say, well, how do I tap into this third helix? All right. Well, first of all, you got to know binary. Binary is important because I showed you that when I showed you the square of Saturn, in order to dial 1111 was 15. All right. And that the sacred 16 is actually the height of our reality, which represents IPv4. All right. What I wanted to show you, I want to show y'all this real quick about mastering the cube. All right. Each one of these are archetypes. It's the way I can say it. You see this right here? I want y'all to look at this very closely. Please look at it very closely. Screenshot it if you need it. Screenshot it if you need it for your own collection if you can. But this right here is your star map. This is your star map right here. This is the way for you to measure the whole universe from yourself, from your designated dot. That's why you needed to know that it's 361 degrees in the circle. Because once you know that, you're able to forge the body. You're able to understand or overstand, understand, or better yet, solar stand the body. Not the physical body, but the galactical body. This is the body of resurrection right here. And this is your body right here. Once you tap into what they consider to be the network. Some call it the Christ consciousness, but we don't call it the Christ consciousness because Christ is literally a Greek word to represent Hellenism. They gave us hell. They gave us hell. Hellenism is the assimilation of Greek concepts and cultures. They gave us hell. We giving them hell back. All right? We giving them hell back. Nah, you can take that. All right? So we don't deal with the Christ conscious. Because if you go into John 141, it tells you that they found the Messiah, which is interpreted as Christ. All right? They found the Messiah. All right? And that's something I want y'all to know. I want y'all to know. So we giving them hell back. They can take that hell back. All of that Hellenism. All right? So yeah, collectively, we are the body of the Messiah. We are that body collectively. And I said, and like, this is not a new message. You say, oh man, he's coming with a new message. How could I be coming with a new message? Like, all of this is a loop. It's a loop that we getting out of the loop. It's not, they been gave us this message. You know, we were been given these messages. The elders been gave us these messages. But what it say right here? Now you are the body of the Messiah, and each of you are what? Part of it. I can go other scriptures saying this. What does it say? There is one body and one spirit, just as you were called into one hope when what? You were called. This is not a new message. We are the body of the Messiah. And then not only that, when you look at Yahweh, at times they draw Yahweh to look like a body. When you see the Yod, the Hey, the Wah, and the Hey, they form a body, which is the 1 and the 0, because the top of the body is what? Of Yahweh is the Yod, which is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, representing binary. I'm telling you, it's all there. It's already been written. So this message of saying, we're saying, yo, we're the body of the Messiah. Yo, this is not a new message. And this is a message of old. All right. And this is the message that we're embracing to take the call. Because the only way to get out of the matrix, what? You got to be called. Ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, emperors and empresses, you got to be called, and you got to be willing to answer the call. But first, before you can be called, you got to dial the operator. You got to dial the operator, because the operator don't know where you at. And keep it real. The operator don't know where you at with this, whether you want in or you want out. How many people took the red pill in the Matrix? Thought they was going to get out following the rabbit. Are you serious? How many people took the blue pill in the Matrix and said, yo, I just want to forget. I want to forget everything. I just want to forget all this. This truth that you giving me, Lamel, is too deep. This Messiah code stuff that you talking about is too heavy. All this stuff that you running down to me is too deep. Give me the blue pill, Lamel. I don't want the truth. I just want to remain in a state of sleep. Nah, we don't do that. We take that purple pill. We take that purple pill because we don't forget. We forgive. And we don't sacrifice our loved ones. And we don't sacrifice those that gave us the truth. But we're willing to be the sacrifice for our loved ones. You feel me? Yeah. Then we can tap into our 0 point energy, because the 0 grid, yeah, nobody took that 0, because the 0 belongs to God. It belongs to God, which is the sacred mother as the 0. Yeah. Yeah, sacred mother. I'm trying to tell you, all of these things connect up. You said greater light. I'm going to go Conafir. Shout out to Conafir, my Christ. Oh, yo, shout out to Conafir. That's my people. I love Conafir. She been holding me down, supporting me personally, but been supporting the Messiah Code for at least 7 years. 7 years. I'm going to say shout out to Conafir. Peace. All right. But let me break this stuff down though. Look, we answered the call. We answered that call. We got out. We got out. They never tell you once you get out of the matrix, where do you go? I'm going to tell you where you go when you get out of the matrix. Very simple. They never told you where you go when you get out of the matrix. It's real simple where you go. You go to the book. You get out of the loop. Yeah. Non-destructive charge collapse center still at the point. Oh my God. Fire. Fire. Yo, when you get out of the matrix, you go into the book. You go into the book. You go into the book. It's nothing new underneath the sun. Nothing new. All of this is a loop. Once you get out of the matrix, those loops, you go into the book. You start to write your story, which is the mystery. My story, which is the mystery. But you start to write my story or the mystery. All right? For real, for real. So this is what I would like to do. I like to do, before I get off, I like to do some readings. I want to do a reading. It's coming up to 12 o'clock. The Messiah is still on shift from 11 to 12. It's 11:57. So while the Messiah is on shift, I want to pick some stones. I'm going to do 3 stones. If anybody would like me to pull some stones for them, just say yes or whatever. If you would like me to pull a stone for you, just say yes. All right? It's a process that we do for those that got their books, for those that got their stone books. This is going to be a way for you to learn how to do it. All right? Let me give you a way. You should. All right? You said I answered the call. So, Sister Sabrina said yes, purple pill for me. Trill said I'm picking the purple pill. Yo, I'm picking the purple pill. Trill said I'm picking the purple pill. Let me change the music up real quick. Yes, yes, yes. All right, cool. Let me change the music up. Let me get this. Let me get a little other spirit flowing. Come on, y'all. This is what I need y'all to do. If we want to do this purple pill, I need y'all to sing along with it. And then when you clear with your question to the universe, I want you to put clear. But sing along, breathe. I want you to sing along, breathe. And I want you to, when you got your question to the universe, I want you to say clear in the comment section. But just allow it like a couple minutes to seep in your mind. All right? Breathe in your nose, out your mouth. I want you to take deep breaths. Clear your mind. When you breathe in, I want you to breathe in the things that you want in life, the things that you want out of life. When you breathe out, I want you to release that which you don't need any longer. I want you to breathe out what you don't need any longer. But I want you to repeat. The Walu, you know, it represents the divine light that strikes your mind. And it connects with your heart. So we're going to do that. Take some time. Let's do this. Let's go, y'all. I'm going to concentrate and breathe. Purple. Purple. All right. So I'm gonna pick 3 stones. If you are clear, just say I'm clear. But I'm clear, and I'll proceed. I'll be talking to you. Wow. I got one more stone to pick. All right. All right. This was good. This was good. So I'm going to show you 3 stones that we pulled. This will represent past, present, and future. All right. This will represent past, present, and future. All right. It will represent past, present, and future. So when you think about your question, I don't want you to say why green is green. Say about this, about that, about whatever happened with this. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I have the stones right here. I have the I thought I had them up there. I'm tripping. Hold on, let me pull them up. I want to pull it up so I can pull it up on the screen so y'all can see it. My fault. Just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, my fault. I got it. All right, cool. Got you. All right, cool. Got it. All right, so we're gonna start with the first stone. So I can put this on the screen for y'all. The first stone we pulled is called Raul. It's a message stone. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. Sorry. All right, there it is. Yeah, because we picked the reverse. All right. So, boom. All right, here it is, right here. So, let's go back to the thought. Clear. All right. So it says this: Raul reversed. Okay. So you may be concerned over what appears to be failed communication. Something in your past or current path is unclear, fog, unresolved. You may feel like you cannot accept what is being offered. A sense of wasted motion, a fruitless journey, an effort without reward is rising in the field. But remember this. This is one of the cycles. Excuse me. And every cycle is coding. This too is sacred. What appears as blockage is often protection. What appears as delay is often alignment. If the well is clogged, don't force the draw. Sit with it, feel, feel where the resistance is coming from. Do not rush to repair the external. First, decode the why beneath the surface. This is the message. Adversity is a messenger too. Every closed path is rerouting you toward a deeper signal. What seems wasted is simply being redirected. What you cannot receive now may not be meant for this cycle. Reevaluate, recalibrate, clean the well before you blame the water. Even silence carries the voice of the Most High if you're still enough to listen. So then I took you to the Codex source map references in alignment, runic correspondences, which is Laguz, Thorisaz, and Pithro, and that's flow disrupted, block intuition, challenge, resistance, external force, closed fate, hidden meaning still unrevealed. So the planet associated with this first stone that we pulled is Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune. So Mercury retrograde is miscommunication, delays, unclear signals. Saturn is karma, restriction, and wisdom through patience. And then Neptune embodies the spirit of illusion, confusion, and unclear spiritual perception. So the lucky numbers for today are 7, 5, and 0. If y'all want to know, those are the lucky numbers. I'm gonna put them in the comment section for the first stone that we pulled. All right. Those are the lucky numbers 7, 5, and 0. Y'all can play those numbers if you like. All right. So we have scriptures, which is Surah 2:16. It's you may dislike a thing while it is good for you. Ecclesiastics, to everything there is a season. And then the book of Job, I go forward, but he is not there, but he knows the way that I take. And then I took you to the Hermetica, which is even in darkness, the hidden light continues to burn. And I gave you some wisdom right here from the Codex, which is the activation phrase is, I sit with silence, I honor the block, I listen to what is not being said. Yo, I read this today. Wow. Wow, you're on the same page in the same book. That's amazing. That's really amazing. So yeah, it's the reverse signal. This is the first problem that we had. This is the first problem that we had, y'all. All right. Sheesh. This is the first problem that we had. Okay. Which is failed communication. You know what I'm saying? And something fogged, unresolved, a sense of wasted motion, fruitless journey. I remember also blockage and stuff like that. Whatever. But we had to look beneath what was the surface. The surface. That's what this message is about. Because Raul, what's so deep about Raul is that Raul speaks to us through the soul. Because Raul is actually the word for meaning soul as well. But this represents messages. You said, I'm overcoming a foreclosure on my house right now, man. I might want to help you out, get somebody to help you with that. If you contact me, I got somebody that can help you. Yeah, but I wanted, if you stick around, I want to show you that we are a nonprofit organization, and pretty soon we will have funds available to help people like yourself. We will be, you know, we'll have a budget for things like that. Well, we'll help people get out of certain situations. And keep it real. By the time we get our funding next year, I'm telling you, it may happen sooner than that. All right. So that was the first stone that we pulled, which was miscommunication in some sort of way. It was some sort of miscommunication that needed to be resolved. So now we get to this because this is Saphir. Saphir actually means the secret, but it represents what's coming from heaven coming down to the earth. That's what this symbol represents. If you can see it, but I'm gonna show it to you on here. It represents what's on from heaven coming down to the earth. What's on your mind? Because remember, it was miscommunication. So whatever was on somebody's mind, it was coming down to earth. All right, or whatever was going on was coming down to earth. So now let me explain this part of our journey that we're going through because we're all connected here. All right, put it on here. All right, my fault. I'm gonna put it on the screen real quick. So yeah. Now we're going to get to this part, which is Saphir. And Saphir is really like a secret matter of something. Sometimes it can feel like that in a way. All right, something that's hidden that needs to be disclosed. All right, or it needs to be routed. Almost got it. My fault, y'all. Trying to put it on the screen. Almost got it. So wow. All right, here it is. So wow. We actually picked the reverse of this. Let me show y'all real quick. Here it is. All right. So we picked this symbol right here. This is the other symbol we picked is Saphir. We picked Saphir reverse. We picked two reverse symbols for our first two stones. So this is the present moment. This represent the present moment. All right. So journey, communication, reunion, codex warning of a fractured connection and emotional interference and divine rerouting. So when Saphir reverses, the journey becomes complex, marked by disruption in your relationships and communication. What happened? Didn't it? Hey, isn't that crazy? Because that's what happened on the first stone. Look how they leading into each other. So it says Saphir reverses, the journey becomes a complex marked by the disruption in your relationship and communication. Now is a time to be highly mindful of your connections. Energy is volatile. Emotions are close to the edge, excuse me. Breakups may be more likely than reunions. Distance may appear where you were hoped for closeness. But the symbol reminds you nothing is final and all is fluid. If a union is your destination, your current detour may simply be a divine adjustment. Communication will not maintain itself. Effort must be made with presence and patience. You are asked to respond instead of react. Your energy is the deciding factor in every outcome. Keep your sense of humor. It is a spiritual tool in moments of emotional weight. Personal growth will require change inside and out. The actions necessary may interfere with plans or disrupt comfort, but they are not obstacles, they are rights. Detours are not denials, they are coded with deeper alignment with your original course. Even when things feel blocked or failing, remember failure is often a disguised opening. Union, union is never canceled, it is rerouted through the transformation of self. You are still on the path, just walking it from another angle. Let the reroute do its work. All right. And then these are the runic correspondences, which is Raidhu and Ansuz and Gibu, which is misaligned journey, blocked path, course correction, miscommunication, spiritual static, withheld connection, imbalance in giving, receiving, and also Mercury retrograde again, which is delayed communication, technology of the spirit under review. And then look at this Venus, which is relationship tension, emotional reevaluation. And then also Saturn, which is consequences, responsibility, karmic pacing. Wow. So these are your lucky numbers for, I'm not going to call them lucky numbers, but the, um, these are the favorite numbers for this moment for that stone. I'll put them in the comment section for you. So y'all have them. For y'all, that's 5, 2, and 11. 5, 2, and 11 are these numbers. All right. And then I took y'all to Romans 8:28, which is all things work together for the good of what? You already know. You may dislike something which is good for you. Wow, you see that number 216? That's that box again. The end of a thing is better than its beginning. All right, so Messiah Code Wisdom Proverbs is the union is still coming. The road just had to turn first. Wow. So the activation phrase is I accept the detour. I respond with grace. I trust the journey. Union remains. Wow. Very, very special. So we got one more stone, and then I'm a one more stone is this one. Wow. We got Hasud. Man, yo, this stone been coming up like wildfire. I got it for y'all. Thank you for everybody that chose the purple pill. Thank you for everybody for your time. Peace to everybody watching in the YouTube and the Facebook. Everybody watching across the universe. All right. So I'm gonna pull this last stone. So the other stone that I pulled was the middle path. Okay. And this is our last stone. This represents the future. This represents the future. So it says this. Hasud. Man, fertile season, a year, initiate of the cycles, delayed reward, and the sacred wait. Wow. So Hasud is the symbol of fruitful outcomes and long-term ripening. It applies to any endeavor you truly committed your spirit to. The blessing is real, but it unfolds over time, not in bursts. Not in bursts. You hear me? So let me run that back for y'all. So it says this right here. So Hasud is the symbol. It says this. Hasud is the symbol of fruitful outcomes and a long-term form ripening. It applies to any endeavor that you truly committed your spirit to. The blessing is real, but it unfolds over time, not in bursts. Hasud carries the energy of a full cycle, 1 year, a sacred season of slow emergence. You are being encouraged to lift your spirit, even while you wait. There are no shortcuts to the harvest worth keeping. The symbol reminds you, keep faith, not haste. The soil is still doing its work. Do not fall into the illusion of stagnation just because results aren't immediate. Remember the farmer who tugged at his crops at night, thinking force could speed growth. You do not need to rush to becoming. You only need to recognize that you are what? Becoming. Progress is happening in unseen ways. Roots before fruit. In its own season, a harvest of the self will appear, and it will be what? Undeniable. This is your fertile season, but patience is the rain. Wait with reverence and prepare your baskets for now, because you know you're about to collect. Now, Ruinic correspondence is which is Java, Rakanu, and Isa, which is harvest, timing, ripening, what was sown, grown cycles of development, stillness as a part of ripening, and also the planetary look. You got Saturn again, time, patience, delayed manifestation. But now we got Earth, which represents the cycles of planning and elemental rhythm. And the Earth is a transformational. When you pull Earth, when one of the stones corresponds with Earth, it represents a transformation. All right. And then you got the moon, which is the waxing to full, emotional growth, approaching fullness. So these are the favorite numbers for us, the lucky numbers. I'll put them in the comment section. Put them in the comment section for y'all. All right. There you go. So I took you to Ecclesiastics, which is 3:1-2. To everything there is a season and a time to plant and a time to reap. Surah 3:200. Be patient and excel in patience. James 5:7. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop. Messiah Code Wisdom. The seed does not question the time. It becomes what the sun declares. And then I gave you an activation phrase, which is I wait without rushing. I honor the season. My harvest comes because I stayed. Powerful. My harvest come because I stayed. See that? It looks like a sprouting. Look like something sprouting. This is called Hasud. This is the symbol of the seed. Hasud is really the seed. And basically, I can explain that. All right, 1226. All right, so I think I have one more thing I wanted to do before I get off. No problem. So I had one more thing I wanted to do before I get off, and I want to read the bylaws of the Tuwalu nonprofit organization. I want to read the bylaws of our organization for y'all. So this could be classified as a quorum, okay? But I want to read the bylaws because just in case anybody would like to be a part of our organization and would like to seek the services that we provide, I'll give you the bylaws that are associated with our organization. All right. So the Walu, my fault. The Walu is a 501c3. All right. And these are our bylaws. And this was the article of amendment that I sent to the Secretary of State just a couple of days or a day or two ago. And this was this amendment updated our bylaws for our community and declaring that our community is not, or our organization is not only charitable, it is also religious. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna read this. This is gonna be real quick. And pretty soon we're gonna have housing for people that need transitional housing. We're going to provide food. Our goal is to feed people. We're going to have a building or place where people come and we serve lunch every day to people that are in need of it. Another thing is we're going to provide transitional housing. Okay, this is what's going on with the Walla, and we're doing it for the community, for tribal members. All right. So let me read these bylaws for y'all real quick. All right, because this is public information. You can actually access this information. If you looked up the Wilder with the Secretary of State, you can look us up and you'll see these bylaws. All right. So let me just speak on behalf of the Tuwalu tribe. I am Solar Prime Supreme 131 Lazarus Lamel, also the CEO of the organization. All right. And I'm speaking on behalf of our community right now. All right. And the board members that are here or may not be here at this moment. All right. So our first amendment, a bylaws amendment addition to the religious, bylaws and amendment, addition of religious purpose and revised governance principles. So number one, our organization has a spiritual and charitable purpose. All right. The Tuwalu tribe exists to uplift humanity through spiritual education, ancestral preservation, sacred rituals, and charitable service to the community. All actions reflect the Messiah Code and the collective consciousness of me, which is me is we. All right. Statement of faith and practice. Okay. So we acknowledge the divine presence in all life forms. The practice of our faith through ceremonies, teachings, fasting, and practice our faith through ceremonies, teachings, fastings, and sacred gatherings. These rituals are held in alignment with nature and spiritual tradition as outlined in Codex Articles 1 through 3. Now, if you don't have the Tuwalu Hand Manual, you can get it on Amazon, and you can read all the articles in the Tuwalu Hand Manual that tell you what our charitable our religious charitable organization is all about. All right. So it says this charitable acts. This is charitable acts and community service. This is what we provide. I don't know if this is too small. I'm sorry for y'all. I'm sorry. It may be too small. Maybe that's a little bit better. But it says charitable acts and community service. The organization shall provide food, clothing, education, healing, and educational support to, to unserviced and marginalized communities as a part of our sacred duty to heal and uplift. So, number four, the education and youth development. The Walu shall maintain an educational system that teaches children sacred values, sustainability, creative expression, emotional intelligence, math, informational technology, and practical skills. And that goes back to Codex 38 through 44. And then the governance structure of our organization. Leadership roles such as president, solar prime ministers, ambassadors, and deacons shall serve with the understanding that all authority stems from the collective will of the people and is in alignment with the sacred values of Codex 50 through 54 through the hand manual. All right. And then the non discrimination policy that we have. Our organization will serve and welcome all individuals, regardless of race, gender, creed, ancestral ancestry, sexual orientation, or economic status, as every soul carries sacred value. All right, perseverance of indigenous and ancestral wisdom. So Tuwalu shall preserve and share ancestral teachings, oral histories, and tribal knowledge systems to promote cultural restoration and healing. Environmental stewardship. So, as caretakers of the earth, the Walu members shall engage in sustainable living practices and sacred rituals of reciprocity to honor nature. Codex 32 through 36. And fasting and sacred health. So, health practices such as fasting, 90-day water fasting, cleansing, sacred eating, ceremonial smoking, all right, and natural medicine are used to maintain purity and alignment with the divine. That's Codex 17 through 22. Now, mind you, it says ceremonial smoking, not recreational smoking. All right. So, the ancestors had certain things that certain smoke that they engaged in that was sacred. Okay. And we utilize sacred smoke as a way to connect up with our ancestors. Okay. So you got membership and commitment. All members must affirm their alignment with the tribe's spiritual values and commit to the principles of unity, respect, and sacred responsibility, including participation in charitable efforts. So we're going to be raising money for the poor. We're going to be getting food and getting things, shelter, and whatever we need for people that are in need of these things. So the people that are a part of our movement, it is your duty to help out in charitable efforts. All right. So this is for if you would like to donate your time. Okay. So worship and sacred gatherings. Weekly gathering is at 7 p.m. Thursday and also 7 p.m. Thursday. So Sunday. So no matter what, you will see one of our members holding a meeting at 7 p.m. on Thursday or 7 p.m. on Sunday. All right. So no matter what, that if you're looking for Lamel is going to be online on at 7 p.m. on Thursday and 7 p.m. on Sunday. And if I'm not online, somebody that is a part of membership will be fellowshipping and sharing information. Okay. Now you have something else, which is thank you. Thank you, sis. And I don't know where you at. I don't know where you at, But we want to make sure that we help somebody in the community wherever you at. We're going to set up a lodge in your area, and when we set up a building, that building is going to be used to serve the people. We're going to feed the people. We're going to house the people. We're going to educate the people. That's what we're going to do at a charitable expense. All right? That's what we're doing here. All right? That's what we're doing here as the Wild. And thank you. I prayed for you tonight. I prayed to God or the universe for you, Sister Sabrina, before you came on. Because I always ask the universe, I want them to return the people that has been coming, but I would like the universe to give us someone new. And if you're new, I prayed for you. Or if you're old, I prayed for you at one point in time. And yo, I'm in Texas. Shout out to y'all. I heard y'all had hail in Texas on Memorial Day. Look at this. The financial ethics of the Dwalu. Financial ethics. All financial decisions shall reflect the moral compass of the tribe. Deacons oversee finances. You see that? Deacons oversee finances. Not me. I don't oversee the finance. All right. Even though I am the CEO of the Dwalu tribe, I don't handle the money. It is not my job description. I have other duties to perform. But deacons handle our finance. We have assigned deacons that take the role of accountant. All right. Look at this. The 13th Amendment, which is amendment to the bylaws. These bylaws may be amended by 2/3 majority vote of the governing council and or any member representative, provided such amendments remain consistent with the tribe's sacred and charitable purpose. All right. So this is the date of the adoption. All right. And as you see, it is signed. And this was sent to the Secretary of State. And this is now public record. Now public record. All right. So I wanted to leave y'all with that. Any comments? You said yes, the weather was happening. I love the storms though. Any questions or comments before I get off? I'm gonna say thank you. I really appreciate y'all more than y'all know, man. I really do. I really appreciate y'all a lot. Any questions or comments? Questions or comments, please. Thank you. Thank you, Def. Deef. My fault. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Man, I gave it all that I can give today, man. I just want to let y'all know. I love y'all though. And I'm doing this because I want to make a difference. If anything I can say to y'all, I do this, I'm on this broadcast because I want to make a difference in this world. I really want to change the complexity of how people are experiencing life.
Salutations to the primes.
If you want to know. And whether I have to be on a late night, we got a person broadcasting early in the morning. You can tune into Sister Oracle if you up 6 o'clock in the morning. She's broadcasting Monday through Friday. All right. Thank you. I will keep in touch. Great live. Thank you, sis. Inbox me or anything. You can do that. I appreciate it. Also, you can order the books, Sister Sabrina, from Amazon. Just look up Lazarus Lamel books. And then a whole bunch of books will pop up that I wrote. Yo, we made them. Yo, shout out to brother Justin. Thank you, Psycho All Star. This was an interesting build. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. I want y'all to I just really, if you can hug yourself, hug yourself. Go ahead and hug yourself, man. Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself a big hug, a big love, man. If anything I can say. You are great. You are great. You are a Messiah. You are a Messiah. You are the body of the Messiah. You are the body of the Messiah. All right. So 747, 24/7, 361 degrees. Peace to the family. I want to say thank you for everybody that chose the purple pill, came on this broadcast tonight, and thank you for everybody that answered the call. This is not a broadcast. It's not a broadcast, y'all. It's not a broadcast. This is a phone call. This is a phone call. Y'all picked up the phone. Y'all picked up the phone. That's what happened. Y'all picked up the phone. And keep it 100. So I love y'all. 747, 24/7, 361 degrees.